Good morning. Different setting today. Only one flower that made it. That's another entry of a day in a life of a flight attendant. The truth is sometimes we have shared rest duties, which means, for example, yesterday I went for a flight from 3 to midnight 1 until I'm really home and got some sleep. And then tonight I have another flight at 2 a.m. It's called shared rest, where within 24 hours you go for another flight. In these 24 hours, there's barely time to do anything. Some can push to do some activities, have some hobbies, but for me, my priority is always sleep. And I always take it very easy. And even if I have a little bit more time off, I rest. I just woke up from another nap. It is what it is. Yesterday night, I came back around 1 a.m. Until I was in bed was around 2. And I woke up this morning around 8-ish, 9-ish. Woke up, started my morning lightly, and then went for my meditation session. And then I went for another nap. Now woke up, it's 3 or 4. When I wake up, I'm like, what else? Am I going to go to sleep again? Maybe for 2-3 hours before I go for my flight, because it's a night flight, so it's tiring. My departure is around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. It's a short flight. I'll be back by 9 a.m. People who work in night shifts, your body clock is messed up. I think most of us, our best strategy is either wake up late or try to sleep again before. And if you don't fill your days so much with a lot of activities, you should be fine. Now let's say I have another 3 hours. I could go to the gym, I could go for a swim, do anything I want, but content creation has been part of my days now. I try to make an entry that makes sense. There are days where you don't do anything or not much and your priority is to rest. I'm always traveling, I'm always somewhere. Half of the time I'm not even in Dubai and home. Then I realized when I'm home, I prioritize my rest. And I'm resting at home. My hobbies revolve about being home, especially recently when I like to reflect more or I like to meditate. These things I can do at home. That means home is where I am, which also means I could live anywhere. And this realization brought me to the next decision. I always thought I liked Dubai, yes, because it's clean, it's safe, it's modern, but actually it's me that makes it a home. I can go to the beach, I can go out, but I like to be home. Now I came to the conclusion this year, the content that I'm creating is a little bit of mixed. That's why heme entries, as in like diary entries, where I will remember back and sharing with you guys my experiences and bits of my daily life. And I like it. So this year I will focus on that. But I will also just have these type of entries where you just chill. And it's okay this way. I'm going to really plan my layovers now, because normally on my layovers I eat, shop, sleep, and then go for a walk. But now in between, I will think about it more. If there are activities that I want to see, then I'll take you with me. But it's not like I'm going to find super crazy stuff unless I like it. Because there's so much content out there, but this is only my perspective as a flight attendant, how I like to live my life. I'll take it easy. Flying is already tiring enough, and I need to maintain my health. That's my priority. I've been doing this for more than a decade. And when you say a decade, it makes me sound older and wiser. At the beginning, of course, you would push it. You have a 24 hours layover. You sleep less, but you have more activities. You have more fun. You push to go out. But you can't do it forever, because you have to take care of your health as well. Back in the days you can. Now I still can. If it's worth it, I will push for it. When your priorities shift, it's fine. So going back to understanding and realizing Home is where I am, guys. Which means I can mentally prepare for my next phase and stage already. Before that, I was like, oh, I like it so much. I like Dubai. I like this comfort, so I stay. But now I realize I just take myself anywhere and I will still feel home. I think after 12 years of flying, it's time to shift slowly. I wanted to do it after 10 years, but I wasn't ready. Now I gave myself another 2 years just to enjoy and see. And just these days, I had the realization, home is where you're at, or home is where your loved ones are. I'm one of my loved ones, and back home with mom, my sisters, and dad. That solves my inner discussion about shall I stay or shall I go? That's why I like reflection so much. It just pushes you further to dig deeper. It's time for change. What I also realize is all these video entries that I'm doing are part of my reality that I share with you, and it doesn't really have a timeline for you, which means when I post it, it doesn't matter, it just exists, which is amazing. I feel less pressured to have to push and publish or upload these videos on a specific date. If I decide one video first and the other one later, it won't influence your life. It will make sense, will not make sense, but every entry is just sharing how I perceive my reality at this current stage. I think it was quantum physics that I like to talk about with my friends. She goes for sessions to learn more about it. I'm just listening, but we still exchange and discuss about things that time is just an illusion. If you think about it, it's true in a way how you perceive your world. And I explained it to myself like this. I've been doing this job for the last 12 years. So the timeline that we imagine is like this. And I'm somewhere here now, since COVID, where I started to work on myself more, dig deeper into spirituality, a better understanding, seeing the world in a different light. And when this switch happened, I realized when we came to that discussion about time is not linear, there is only the present. I realized the shift of my perspective when I practiced more gratitude and mindfulness, right? I saw things with different eyes. I would be still at the same spot, however, everything has changed. What I mean by it, now recently in the past years, I've enjoyed my job much more. And it's still the same job that I've been doing for the last 12 years. However, in all these years, I was hustling, I was chasing things because I thought it would make me happier. But I couldn't find out how and what it was. Now, suddenly, I changed my perspective. I'm still in the same profession, yet everything has changed. I realized everything that I wanted has always been around me. Does it make sense? If I would have this quantum jump, now it makes sense for people that say, okay, you have to believe in it. Before, it didn't make sense. I believe it, but I don't know. I haven't experienced it yet. But for me, now, when people say you have to believe in it, you have to tap into it, and you have to pretend that you already got it. And you convince yourself, because then you try to trick your brain, right? To think this way until you really adapt and step into it. Now it makes sense for me as well when they say you step into it. It's just this moment of realization, this moment of switch, that your perspective, your eyes opens up and then you see all these things. But the best example for me is really, I've been doing this for the last 12 years, yet I've only realized how lucky, how blessed I am. Before I was lucky and blessed already. I was grateful for the job that I had and I could travel it all. It was good. But now it's even better. And from the standpoint where I am now, I was thinking, wow, if I would have managed to switch this perspective on day one when I started this job, I would have been where I am now much earlier. But the fact that in these 12 years, everything was still the same, yet it's completely different, blows my mind. So yeah, that's something to share that I have wanted to share with you for a while. For some it makes sense, for some it doesn't. But what's my conclusion on that? Practice patience, practice mindfulness, practice gratitude. That will lead you to this mind shift. That's it. It sounds simple, is not easy. When you hear something, it makes sense. You can choose to believe it or not, but until you walk that path, you will not know. And that's so beautiful. Yeah, have faith in yourself. Now I feel so much more aligned with myself. I'll feel good. So that's the truth. I just woke up, I'm like, now I feel like I want to share some bits. Here we are. When I'm rested and when I feel good, when I just let my thoughts flow. I'm still juggling between old habits and implementing new habits, but some things just take their time and it's completely okay. And now I also understand why I always had the rush to achieve something, and I understand that this will happen. It's just in your pace. And I'm really grateful that I gave myself these 2 years to understand myself better instead of pushing myself into something new. You can, but it's always a choice. And I'd like to do it peacefully, because when you push yourself into this fight or flight mode, you can and you will always survive. But everyone is different. I don't want to. And to be honest with you, what calmed me down is when I saw my first gray hair, I thought, that's a sign our body is getting older, so you better chill. Don't get yourself stressed. I'm pretty sure my first gray hair came because I got stressed as well. Listen to your body. It's all signs for you to take care of yourself better. Your reminder. If you listen to it, good for you. If you don't, you will suffer later. Easy as that. You better maintain your health. I like these small entries, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I think it's a good time to throw in some thoughts. What do you think about quantum jump? Or maybe about my timeline perspective? I send you lots of love. Thank you for supporting me on my journey. Thank you for supporting yourself on your journey. I hope that we continue to grow and bloom every day. Lots of love.